Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to this new Impact webinar, the second Career Talk one. I am Sylvie Gompe, founder of Impact, a firm which has a vision to empower youth and women to live up to their full potential. We launched Career Talk a week ago with the objective to bring up professionals who will share their experience and their challenges in their career path, so to inspire and motivate youth to follow this path. Today, I'm thrilled and honored to have as guest speaker Karin Jamila, who will be sharing with us her experience in marketing and strategy. I've known Karin for 28 years. Today, she is passionate about God, food plating, tennis, and music. After her baccalaureate say, she went to Université Catholique de l'Afrique Centrale, where she had a bachelor degree in commerce and distribution, then a master in marketing and strategy. She spent 2 years in an environment and social impact and more than 4 years in oil and gas field, tackling sales and commercial challenges in Europe, Russia, and Africa. Today, she is commercial operation lead at Baker and Hughes, and I am happy to give her the floor for an exciting moment of sharing. But before that, you know what will happen. We have 25 minutes of presentation and 35 minutes where you will ask all your questions. I want you to use the chat to ask all your questions to Karin because we are here for you. Karin, I'm thrilled that you accepted to be my guest speaker, and over to you for 25 minutes of sharing. Over to you, Karin.
Hi, Sylvie. Hi, everyone. I'm very honored to be part of this Career Talk series. And with the limited time we have, I want this to be more a dialogue than just presenting slides. So, guys, feel free to shoot any questions, comment, and I can switch to French as well if you are more comfortable. Just let me know. I'll just want to share with you the agenda through today. So we'll first start with a brief presentation of what marketing is. Then I will share with you my educational path, then my career path, and I will share with you in brief the industry where I'm working now is oil and gas. I will share with you as well some key values that really helped me so far in my career. And then we'll have a floor for Q&A question. Well, we will just then start with this video talking about stay tuned and pay attention.
What is marketing? How would you explain marketing? The first few words that usually pop into a person's head are marketing equals sales. Marketing is not just personal selling or even just advertising. Most people define marketing in a very limited way. Marketing includes activities such as public relations, sales promotion, advertising, social media, pricing, distribution, and many other functions. Companies have increased their marketing budgets dramatically. For example, it is estimated that companies spend over $15 billion annually on marketing to just kids. This is an increase of over 2.5 times more than they were spending in 1992. The cumulative function of marketing is to communicate, deliver, and create value to the consumer. In addition, companies must take into consideration their employees, stakeholders, and society. The most successful companies engage in very consumer-oriented marketing. They spend enormous amounts of time, money, and resources examining the everyday lives of their customers, and then create products to fill a need. Examples of companies that are known for creative, leading-edge marketing are Disney, Pepsi, Apple, and Procter & Gamble. Marketing is made up of 4 elements: product, place, promotion, and price. The elements must be used in a cohesive plan to effectively target the consumer. A product can be either a physical product or a service. Place is where the product is purchased. Price is the amount a consumer pays for the product, and promotion consists of the communication tools used to effectively get the company's message out. The official definition of marketing is it is a philosophy that's main focus is providing customer satisfaction. Marketing is the activity, set of institutions, and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Also included in the definition are all of the activities that help businesses reach their target market effectively. The ultimate outcome for marketing is when a successful exchange occurs.
How's that? What do you think? I mean, can you share with me just your thoughts? Can you just write in the chat what you feel about it? Is it interesting? Is it something you were expecting? Is it something different from what you heard about marketing before? Just give me a few words in the chat. I'm waiting.
Remember that it should be interactive, so we are waiting for your comment in the chat. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Well, I'll just go a bit dive into what we've seen. So you have to understand that any company needs to understand the market where it wants to operate and how to maintain a viable long-term competitive strategy to be profitable. And there is a demand, we have to meet a demand, to supply that demand, to satisfy that demand. And marketing is the functionality of marketing is to drive that market study or market analysis and understanding through some market researching, what we call data collection and analysis of the consumption behaviors and trends where the company is interested to operate. Understanding as well market environment and politics analysis. Is the political environment favorable for our business? Is there any threat of war or any threat of any political war in the country or in the geographical area where we want to operate? Marketing is going as well to assess the technology environment. What technology is available to develop or to distribute our solutions? Marketing is going to assess as well the legislation environment. What are the label standards? What is the local content around that industry or any other regulations in place that we need to follow? Marketing is going to assess as well the economical environment. What's the potential growth of the market, the currency effect, the inflation effect? Is the demand going to grow or slow? In which time, in which period? And most importantly as well, do we have already other companies operating in that market, what we call competitors? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What do they propose? And the company will make critical choices based on the answers to those fundamental questions, and they will define their competitive strategy, either leading on cost or differentiate themselves from the other existing solution, or focusing on a particular set of consumers that we call niche. Then the company will be able to identify what we've seen in the video first, the right solution to address the problem that they identify of the consumers they want to serve. And that solution is what we call the product or the service. The second policy that marketing is going to build will be the price at which those consumers will buy to pay back the company's effort to develop that solution, that product or that service, because it's not marketing is not just a philanthropic business or a philanthropic stuff. So we need to make money. The company needs to make money. Then the third policy will be the place. So what is the most suitable place for the consumers to access and get that product or that service? And how to talk about that solution to those consumers, what we call the communication, the promotion. And if the company is providing a solution, like a service, something which is intangible, the company should define as well the physical evidence of that service in order to make it tangible for the customer. For example, that can be sharing some business case stories, having an office premises somewhere, some recommendations, or have a personnel in place that will have the value to communicate or to show or to deliver that service. And the sixth element, when we are talking about services with the marketing strategy, is the process. What's the process we are going to implement to deliver the service and address any customer complaints? And this is not the end of marketing. When the product or the service is live on the market, marketing will help the company to proactively adjust the strategy through market intelligence. So this is a permanent monitoring of data analysis on market trend, technology, competition, market environment, and if there is any change in what we planned before, marketing will be able to provide direction to the company and to develop a new strategy and deploy it in the market throughout the life of the product and the service. You would then agree with me that marketing requires then a lot of hard skills in various fields: psychology, to understand the customer behavior, to understand any needs from the customer, communication, to promote the market, the product or the service, finance, commerce, legal, logistics, supply chain, and so on. This is why marketing is a multidisciplinary field of study. You may have noticed as well that marketing requires a variety of activities. This is why it offers a wide range of career. I will stop there and make sure that everyone is with me. Just write something in the chat if you have any question. And then I will continue by sharing my educational path. So honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was in high school. So I really didn't know what I wanted to do. But I had too many ideas crossing my head: pilot, home architect, medical doctor, or engineer, like my sisters, or lawyer, because there was no lawyer in the family, and so on. So I have a very passionate ideas to do when I was very young. But because I had a scientific background and I really like mathematics, physics, and everything, analysis, I attempted Polytechnic exam entrance here in Cameroon. And to have a second choice, I attempted the Université Catholique d'Afrique Centrale examination entrance in the commerce field, because I found it interesting and I understood that both of those fields of studies are not confined into a particular industry. The UCAC exam entrance is generally before the baccalaureate exam. So I have been admitted to that school, and I was the first class of my examination center. However, I lost the exam entrance to Polytech. I was sick during the second day of the examination, and I couldn't even start or finish that day. So this is how I found myself, I would say, not really at the beginning. I thought it was accidentally in the sort of business school, and I got, after 3 years, my bachelor degree in commerce and distribution. And at this stage, I could have stopped there because many opportunities were open to me. I could have been sales, commercial, e-commerce manager, traffic manager, buyer manager, channel manager, head of point of sales, market analysis, and so on. But I chose to pursue with my master degree, and I choose marketing and strategy because guess what? Even though I was there by accident, I liked it and I really wanted to deep dive into the strategy scope. Then after 2 years, I got my master degree in marketing and strategy, and these are below the jobs that you may look for when you have that kind of profile: business developer, marketing strategy manager, brand manager, product manager, communication manager, pricing manager, market intel manager, and so on. Then when I when I got my master degree, I started my career as an intern in a commercial department of a company called GMN Consultant. It's an environment consulting firm delivering services to government entities and international development programs. My role there was chargé d'affaires, and my main responsibility was to sell the services of the company throughout the tendering activities. So we're receiving quotation from customers, from governments, and we're supposed to reply to those and providing the price, providing consultants to drive some studies related to any environmental field. Yeah. So for each of those quotation, so after 3 months, sorry, I got a permanent contract and more responsibilities. My main challenge was when I started was to understand the market and the services the company was providing and getting up to speed very quickly. So for each quotation, I had to prepare, depending on the scope of work, I had to select the right profile of consultant. So I was selling people, if I can say it like that. I had conversation with our technical team to clarify and deep dive on the subject, and and to get guidelines on the best profile to select. And this is how I learned on the go and I gained more autonomy in my day-to-day job. Then I moved into a new industry, the oil and gas industry. And I joined General Electric Oil and Gas through what they call an early career development program as sales for Central Africa. And I was based in Cameroon. So that was a 1 year training program in sales with a design curriculum and assignment. And my assignment was related to business development in Central Africa. So I was in charge of sales prospection, customer engagement in Cameroon, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, in Chad, and management of the relationship of the customers. Same challenge, understanding the industry, the product, and the service. And with that, I read a lot, took time to really deep dive on the go. And when I was talking with customer, in order to sell what we were, the solution of the product, I was working closely with technical engineering team and always asking questions. So, and this is how every day I was learning about, and even today I'm learning about the industry. And another challenge was the language barrier. Oh yes, I'm a native French speaking person, and back at the time, I just had a very strong knowledge in writing, speaking, but not really in listening. I was still listening just to with the accent that I was familiar with. So imagine in a worldwide international company talking with various different nationalities, Italians, Americans, British, Indians, on calls, on meetings. It was very difficult for me to perceive what they were saying because everyone has an accent. Even Africans, but in different countries, they have an accent. So, and I didn't have enough opportunity to practice the language in the 100% French speaking environment surrounding me. So how I overcome this. I like music, so I started to really do my exercise by listening to some various type of music and try to understand, get that listening, my ear used to it. And with the time and by the grace of God, this is how I adapted myself and was quite good at the end. So then after 1 year ish, I rolled into another talent development program offered by the company. By that time, we merged with a Baker Hughes international company, and we become Baker Hughes. And the program was called Aspire Sales and Commercial. So that program offers a 2 year training with a 3 year training program with 4 rotations of 6 months each, with challenging assignment in sales and commercial, and provide a very high international exposure. So that was the beginning of my international career. And my first assignment was business developer for our total portfolio, but now my role was kind of the same of what I was doing before, but it was more narrowed now to Cameroon geographically. My second rotation was in marketing, supporting the sales in Nigeria, Lagos. My main responsibility there was to assess the company competitiveness, and through a very market intel, a market research and analysis, I recommended actionable market growth levers to adjust our winning strategy in that country. Critical thinking, analytical skills, and communication were very key really to achieve that. Then I moved to my third rotation in UK, the city called Newcastle. So, and I was supporting Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, and the Middle East regions as a pricing leader for one of our products used in the subsea oil and gas production. I was supporting the commercial strategy for our tenders by providing the price guidelines through benchmarking exercise. I developed and maintained a pricing tool to optimize the pricing process, and I trained the commercial team to use it to be more efficient in their day-to-day jobs. And I recommended some pricing levers to the leadership to be competitive in the market on a quarterly basis. So what do we need to increase our price? Do we need to decrease our price? So what's this price strategy we have to adopt into the market based on the market condition? I faced a lot of challenges, and the first of them was the pricing itself. At school, I didn't have learned much about pricing, just a theoretical education on it. So I had to read a lot of books and articles to be up to date and understand pricing, the pricing science in details. The second challenge was the product itself, because with a no technical background, I had to understand how it works. What are the components, or what are the elements of the product that drives the price? What's the value that we want to communicate to the customer? And all of those elements that helps you to build a price. And to overcome that, I had a lot of conversation with the engineering and product team. It helped me a lot, and I read a lot as well on the product to understand the technology. So the first 2 months of my rotation were very intensive. I didn't sleep even that much because I had to be to learn a lot and assimilate a lot of knowledge in a very short time period. And by the grace of God, I succeeded, and I succeeded to develop a pricing strategy, to develop a tool to help the commercial team and provide really accurate highlights on our pricing strategy to the leadership and how we can adopt the strategy, the overall strategy. The third challenge I met there was the resilience. So to change from a mechanical way of pricing to a digitized way or digital pricing process, and I overcome it with active listening of my customer, who is there where my customer there were my colleague actually. So active listening, trying to understand why they don't want to use it, try to fit it to their needs, and influential skills as well help me a lot to drive that change management. And I really enjoyed that rotation. The next one was Simpo, and I was a key account manager in France, where I partnered with the team over there to develop and implement a winning strategy on the customer account we had in our portfolio. I provided as well accurate visibility on our market positioning and competitiveness in the market, and this was through market intel, data analytics, and really understanding and critical thinking of what is happening, what we should do better, and how we can adjust. And remember, I told you that was a training, and in that curriculum, we have as well some in-class and online training. And one of them was related to what we call risk management. And there was a competition between all the program participants around the world on a business case on risk management. And my team won, and we got an award for the best risk assessment of that business case. Then I moved to Azerbaijan, Baku, on a fifth assignment that I call bonus because I really enjoy it both in professional and personal way. And I was commercial excellence for the Russia and Caspian region, supporting that region integration into our global sales and commercial process through several training series of training in Azerbaijan, in Kazakhstan, and I was training our sales force, operations, and commercial and finance team. And the main challenge there was driving the change. I faced a lot of resistance, but the resilience and the influential skills and communication skills that I acquired in my previous rotation helped me to successfully achieve the company's goal. And that was the end of the program. And I have been promoted to a more longer term role called commercial operations for a product line in rest of Africa. And that will require pricing skills, negotiation, commercial, business acumen, critical thinking, analytical skills, good communication skills, and multitasking. So in my day-to-day job, I'm developing tenders and quotes to our customer, which is doing the commercial strategy, assess the risk, legal, finance, in terms of operations, in terms of commercial, what are the risks that we have. I'm doing as well bid administration and negotiation in case when it happens. Yeah. And the second, what I'm doing secondly there is contract management. So this is more risk assessment of all the contracts we have. And as I got a very good and strong background in commercial excellence, I got on my plate as well what we call commercial intensity, which consists of commercial data mining, regional pipeline health, monitoring, training as well. So I'm training sales, other commercial folks, operation teams on our commercial process, sales and commercial process in place because we have sometimes some changes to adapt to the environment, to adapt to our needs, and ensure commercial process optimization. And just 4 months in my role, I got an award for data mining and analytics developed for the region I was covering was Europe, MENAT, um, Africa, yeah, sub-Saharan Africa. So that really provided a great visibility to leadership on the commercial performance and helped them identify some performance levers. Well, so I will just show you briefly a video talking about marketing, oil and gas, just for you to have it in brief. So I will my camera and I will let you enjoy that video for you to have the visibility of what is the oil and gas industry. Well, I hope you found it interesting. So that was in brief the oil and gas um, industry. But you have to understand that it's characterized by its volatility. We have a lot of downturn cycle and of the business related to the impact on the demand and the supply. For example, for instance, now we have the COVID-19. We cut dramatically the market demand, exposed the business to more operational risks and costs to overcome them, and revive that the climate debate around the world. And on that very last point, energy transition is the new trend in the oil and gas industry. How can we operate with low to zero carbon emissions? And what greener energy can we develop or invest in? So in 10 years' time ish, the industry will be totally transformed. And if you are interested to work in that industry, you should look for open-minded company into that regards. Well, the last, I mean, not the least, but one of the other point that I wanted to share with you are some key values that um, helped me throughout my career. And I will start with humility.
So you have to be very keen to learn every day. Today, I know better in the oil and gas industry than I know last week, last year at the same period, and is a constant and progressing learning. And if you want to be knowledgeable and credible in the industry you work in, so don't be afraid of going into something very new, but just know that you have to learn and you have as well to be keen to help your colleagues. We will spend uh, about 70, 60 to 80% of your time at the office with colleagues. So you have to build relationship with them and help, give a hand, even if it's not in your assigned tasks. Just give a help, and by giving a help as well, you will be helped as well when you have some issues. So help people in everything and always give help, give just help. And then the next value is courage. Accept every challenges. I remember my pricing rotation. I really didn't know what it was I would do over there. There were high expectation everywhere when I was going as well. When I was going to Baku, there were high expectation from the very top leadership. And I accepted the challenges even without knowing how I would be able to achieve the goals and achieve the objectives that I had. So you need to be courageous and go for it. And then resilience. In this type of industry, knowing a lot of up and down cycle, there's a lot of bad news you will hear. There's a lot of, even in your day-to-day job, a lot of things. The environment is changing. So it's not going just to be very flowing like this with no challenge or with no mountain. So there's always going to have some challenge. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to learn and adapt to be successful. Don't just quit the boat when there is anything happening. That's life, right? And that's the business. Don't just quit the boat. And the company needs people that which are there to um, grow the company, to put the company at the highest performance. Next one is flexibility. As I mentioned, there's always going to have some changes. The environment change. You have as well some of your aspiration may changes. Something may happen, and just be flexible and be open to new possibilities. And don't limit yourself to your educational path. It's not because you have or you are doing a bachelor at the university you are studying philosophy that you will limit yourself and you won't feel yourself not able to work in a commercial field or in a marketing field or in a finance field. Don't limit yourself to your background. I don't have a technical background, but today I can speak with someone about oil and gas and some technicity around some of our products because I learned that on the go. Then excellence. Don't just do your job, just do it with excellence. Nothing is perfect, that's what we say, but when you are looking for excellence, you have to explore new ways of doing things. And then creativity. You have to explore new ways of doing things. And company and are looking for young talents, young people, because they know that they have a very easy way to be creative. So feel free, explore new ways and present new ways when you feel that they may have an impact to a positive impact to the business. So I will stop there, and I will be happy to deep dive in anything I said or not here, uh, depending on your questions. So you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Karin. Thank you for that insightful presentation. Karin, what I love about your presentation is your humility to share your challenge and your failures for all the youth that are connected to know that every time you have to be ready to fail and to succeed. in Lagos, Newcastle, Bakuko, and Azerbaijan. Really, you have to have courage. That's what you were sharing in your values. I love your resilience because when you are on your job, you are still learning. You just don't stop. You learn each and every day. Another thing that you shared with us was flexibility. Flexibility to be open to new possibility, to also don't limit yourself to your educational path. That was really excellent. Also, you ask youth to continue to do their job with excellence, always seek for excellence, and also creativity. Thanks a lot, Karen, for this insightful comment. And what I've noticed is that marketing can be used in any field, in any field. So please, can you tell us, you have a back say, that is your background. Can I have a back and go in the marketing or elsewhere? Can you tell us more? Karin?
I don't know if you can hear me. I had some issue
Yes.
with my headphones. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, because I cannot hear
Perfectly.
you very well, but I got the question. So yes, you with a back you can do marketing. So
Okay,
don't be afraid. Short answer is yes, you can go into marketing studies.
good. I have a question from Muriel. Muriel Chachwan asks, please may you share any challenging situation or difficulty you face and how you cope with it? That is Muriel asking. Thanks, Muriel, for your question.
I can hear you, Sylvie.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Karen? Hello?
Hello.
This is challenging. Hello? Hello? In the audience, can you hear me? Oh, everyone can hear me. Karen has an issue. This is technology. Please, audience, can you continue to type your question in the chat, and Karen will be reconnecting, and then she will be answering your questions. I hope that you've understood, you have listened to the presentation, and that you took note for all those who are tempted
Okay.
to follow the career path.
Okay, Sylvie, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, Karine. I had a question. Let me give you the question. The question was from Muriel Chatouin, and she was asking, please, may you share any challenging situation or difficulty you faced and how you cope with it?
Yes, I shared plenty of them during my speech. So one of them will say in the pricing rotation, so that I did. So I didn't really know anything about pricing, just a theoretical background that we learn at school. So, and there was high expectation on that. I needed to develop the pricing strategy. I needed to develop a pricing tool to optimize the activities of the commercial team. So there was a lot of data analytics, a lot of critical thinking there. But the challenge was more about the price itself. Because with that limited knowledge on pricing, I had to go and read about pricing, deep diving more in details, and to get to know the pricing science. And with no technical background, I had to understand how the product works, because you have to understand how the product works, some technical specificity of the product, some a lot of components. What are the elements? What is driving the price? What is the value that we have to communicate to the customer through our price? So I overcome all those challenges by talking with the engineering and the technical team, the product team, to get to know quickly the product, because I just had 6 months to be able to achieve all of that. So the first 2 months of my rotation, I barely slept because I had a lot to learn and to digest in order to be up to speed. So this is how I overcame all those challenges, and by the grace of God, I really developed a successful tool that the team is still using today. And I was able to provide a very accurate visibility to the leadership on our pricing performance in the market.
Wow.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Thanks a lot, Karine. I hope that Muriel heard what you were saying. And our next question was from Julien, and he's asking, in the oil and gas, there are many companies that are selling crude. So what are the biggest challenges that you face in this type of industry?
That are selling what, sorry?
There are many companies that are selling crude, I think crude oil. And what are the biggest challenges you face in this type of companies?
Okay, so the first challenge is in the oil and gas industry is the volatility cycle. So as I mentioned, you may have a lot of low downturns situation due to a when to have a market, you need to have a demand and a supply. So when your demand is higher than your supply, you are in not a very good position. Same when your demand is lower and your supply is higher, you are not at all in a very good position. So you have to be there maybe at the same or just a very, the supply need to be just a very lower than the demand. So we always face that, and this is why we have a lot of impact into the price. And I shared with you more recently with the COVID-19 impact on the market. In March, we went through minus $30. So this was a very shock into the market. And we had to adapt and find new ways of doing business, right? We have to adapt and doing new ways, like you can drill a well by just sitting in your room now. So develop and rely on all those technologies, digital technologies that we had put in place to be able to overcome those kind of challenges. Same as well, the demand is going down, and through this COVID-19 period, the debate on the climate revived as well. And that's why I mentioned that the energy transition is the new trend in the oil and gas industry. So a lot of companies are now looking at how are we going to produce oil and gas with low to zero carbon emission, or what else, or what are other greener energy that we can invest in and develop in. And this is why if you're really interested to work in this industry, you may look for companies who are open-minded into that regards. I don't know if I answer your question, Julia.
When you are talking about open-minded, can you talk more about it? Companies who are open-minded, and how do we find those companies that are open-minded?
Company open-minded are company who are integrating that reality and adjusting their portfolio, their offerings, adjusting their mindset into that regard. So company who are evolving with the trend and not just staying behind. How you can identify that? Just go on the website of those companies and look at their portfolio. Look at their you can look at their reports. You can look at their corporate responsibility, corporate and social responsibility. What are the trends? What are they looking at? What are they focusing at on? Where are they going? If you understand, or if you detect that they are looking to transition, they are looking or implementing that element of low or looking at lowering any carbon emissions in their day-to-day activities, and with the target that they have. So just deep dive. So
Okay.
I hope I answer your question.
Thank you very much. And I am 12 years old. I am 13 years old. How can I prepare myself from today to jump into marketing and strategy?
Okay, so read um, read a lot of articles about marketing. Try when you are watching the TV, there's some advertisement. Try to understand why did they put a person with a red T-shirt presenting, for example, a tomato sauce. Try to understand those type of things. Be curious, open your mind, try to look at all the advertisement in the city around yourself, try to understand what's the effect on you, try to understand and read about companies, read about their strategies, read some books. And I recommend you Philip Kotler, which is has marketing and strategy book, and read as well things on the story of Apple, the story of Pepsi, Coca-Cola, read the story of Microsoft, read the story of those successful company around the world at the top five. Read the story about them. Try to understand how did they to be where they are today. If you're interested in video games, try to understand, okay, what Disney, read the story about Disney, read the story about all those producers of video games. Pixar, how did they get there? What motivated them to create a world of cartoons? What was behind that? Try to understand and be curious about everything you see, because the color of a product is for a reason. The design of the packaging of a product, the conditioning of the product is for a reason. Um, why you have cartoons or publicity at a period time on the TV is for a purpose. So try to be curious, understand why, and read the story about those successful companies. I hope I
Thank you
answered your
very
question.
much. Do you think that today, as the world is evolving, we won't have the traditional marketing and strategy that will be outpaced by digital marketing?
Digital marketing is embedded into marketing. So when we
Okay.
talk about technology assessment, remember, for example, marketing would assess the new technology in place to present or to serve our customer or to use in order to develop our product or the service we want. So digital marketing is embedded into marketing, and a a continual permanent monitoring on the different trend will orientate any company to know how they are going to communicate now, or what digital platform they are going to provide. You see, for
Okay.
example, with this COVID, there was a boom in the e-commerce. So, when you're doing e-commerce, you're now going to communicate more into those platforms on the internet rather than other way, because people are not going out to see what you're selling. So there's
Yep.
new way and new adapt adjustment that digital will drive as well, depending on the trend and where the industry or the market the company is operating.
Nice. I have Ludovic asking, what do you think about the use of social media in your sector of activity?
The use of social media, uh, yeah, is interesting because it's going to give us more exposure on how, in this critical environment now for oil and gas, how we are adapting. And this is critical to our every stakeholders, our investors, and even in our for our customers. Social media are very important for us to give more visibility and real I won't say real time, but day to day or quarterly, I mean depending on the frequency at which we communicate, to really give visibility on how we are coping with this situation. I don't know if I answer your question.
Thank you very much. I think I will have the last one for you. I'm going into marketing and strategy, and I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work for a company. I want to be on my own. How do I do that?
Okay, as I mentioned, be humble and start by learning from others.
Humble.
So
Okay.
I will advise you to just do an internship into a company first. If you don't want to work for someone, you can just do it like in 1 year or 2 years. Just be close to the marketing department or and commercial department. They sometimes are mixed together depending on how the company is structured. Just go and see how it is. Just go and learn on how it works. And I will advise you as well to have some exposure into the commercial department deep diving, because that is going to help you to know how you are going to price, how you are going to adapt your strategy, and how you are going to react. It's good to read books. It's good to to hear and to join this kind of webinar, but you need to have some kind of practice. You can have mentors, you can have people guiding you, but yourself, you need to just go and experience it yourself a little bit. Be humble and go and learn. Learn again, practice before now you can go into your own account. That will help you to avoid a lot of mistakes. And you can read about the stories as well of the successful company you are
Thank you.
you are inspiring about. So I hope I answer your question. So, hello. I can hear you, Sylvie.
You're good. Go for it. We are having a little bit issue. Karin, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Perfect. I have Muriel asking, can you use social media for your sales or only for advertisement?
Uh, yes, you
Social
can use.
media platform are for sales or only for advertisement?
I would say both, because I would say both, not only for advertisement, for sales as well.
Okay.
Because when you advertise, you can have a web page, you can have an Instagram page, you can have a Facebook page where you are presenting your products, and you can use it as a platform as well to connect with your customers and to take orders from your customer.
And you have in our university, marketing seems to be inferior than functions like finances, for example. For you, which is the key function in a company?
Finance is a key function in a company. Um, like supply chain, all the functions are important. If not, they won't be existing in a company. So all the functions are important in the company. But marketing is kind of fostering or gathering the efforts of all of them. This is why it's like a very multidisciplinary field of study, because working in marketing or the marketing function is taking resources in terms of information, is taking into account all of those other functions to help the company to develop and drive the strategy.
Nice. I hope Ludovic is convinced. And he's asking, is the pricing strategy that you learned from General Electric can be applied to other type of businesses?
Pricing is a science and is adaptable to any type of business. Each company has its own story, its own background, and its own patterns or pertinence. So you can adapt. I mean, any company may have a strategy depending on the product they are selling. Same as marketing, there is a science, and it's now you to know how to use it and apply to the product and to the market in which you are operating.
Thanks a lot, Karin. Now we are at 1 hour. We are done with our time of webinar. I want to thank you very much, all those who attended. I want to thank also Karin for all the answers that you gave us. I hope that the people who were following this webinar are inspired and motivated to dig in this career path, because marketing, you can use it all over the industry, and because you don't really need a back say or a back art to go into it. And I want, if you have any other question, Karin, I can share your email for them to ask you more question in marketing and strategy. I will have love to have more questions from you, but I think that next time you will be inspired. You will be inspired. You will prepare in upfront. So continuous reading, searching for a culture of excellence, being humble when you are sharing with your own partners, being resilient are those values that Karin has shared with us. Karin, can you have a last word? A last word to motivate all our audience to follow that career path. And I will see you next week with another topic, with another speaker. Remember, Impact is here to empower you, youth. Impact is here because we want the next generation to be more responsible, more resilient, and more respectful. Because you have to live your life to your full potential. And soon I will announce that in October we are starting back our workshop on site, and we will start with setting our goals and achieving them. I will give Karin the last word to say bye-bye to our audience, and I hope to see you soon for another insightful webinar. Thanks a lot. Karin, please, can you close it?
Yes, thank you, Sylvie. Last words I will say, two words is passion and perseverance. Be passionate about everything you do. With passion, you can do everything. And persevere, because nothing is easy, and have a lot of courage. Persevere. Nothing will just be easy. Persevere whenever you have a challenge, you face a challenge. You need to have a lot of perseverance. And I'm very happy, and I felt really honored to share that with you. And I will be happy as well to answer to any other question you may have, and sending through my email address that Sylvie will share with you all. Thank you for your time. I hope you learned, and from my humble career path. So I wish you a very good weekend, and take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Karin. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye bye.